Senator Devine. You have 8 minutes, Senator Devine.
And welcome again, Minister. I welcome the opportunity to speak on the motion before the Seanad this afternoon relating to the proposed Citizens' Assembly. I want to begin by saying that any and all mechanisms by which citizens are afforded further opportunities to participate in the democratic process are to be welcomed and commended. We have witnessed a number of successful endeavours to this end here in Ireland, and in particular, We the Citizens Initiative in 2011 was a successful endeavour on which the Government's proposal clearly models itself. Citizens' Assembly have also proved successful in many other countries, particularly in Canada, and I have no doubt a similar proposal in this state will prove useful. That said, we already have a deliberative assembly, the Constitutional Convention, which sat between December 12 and March 2014. It worked very well, and we should, I believe, seek to replicate its model. Let's stop trying to invent the wheel for whatever reason, and if it's not broke, why fix it? The Convention, its Secretariat, its Chair, and especially the citizens who participated did an excellent job and produced a series of first-class reports and recommendations. Sinn Féin representatives played their part in the last Constitutional Convention, and they felt an uplifting experience and process that was enjoyable and most democratic. Sinn Féin would prefer that this convention be reconvened and re-establish a new remit. Amongst the issues set out by the Government, it should examine issues affecting the entire island in the aftermath of Brexit. This is one of the most important issues that is facing this country over the next number of years, as well as outstanding recommendations of the previous convention. Amongst other issues, political reform. We made our position clear to the Taoiseach when Teachta Adams wrote to him just before he went to Cabinet with a memo on the current proposal, and I'm disappointed he hasn't taken those suggestions on board. Teachta Adams also encouraged him to consider the appointment of elected representatives as per the previous convention. Their inclusion, which I believe was one of the reasons that the convention worked so well, because there were political representatives working together with citizens in a holistic way to arrive at very positive and worthwhile conclusions. The All-Ireland structure of the convention, involving representatives from the Oireachtas and the Assembly, was also very positive, which has regrettably been abandoned in the Taoiseach's current proposal. I refer back again to the importance of the Brexit vote. I also think it's important to acknowledge the contributions of other deputies in recent weeks, with respect to the inclusion of residents not entitled to vote in referenda, and we would like to see this matter also discussed in any future convention or assembly. With regards to the 8th Amendment, Sinn Féin are of the view that there is already a broad consensus in the Dáil and within our citizenship. Many polls are in excess of 87% to repeal the 8th Amendment. It needs to be repealed, and we don't believe there needs to be a further delay in dealing with such an urgent issue. We are therefore supporting Senators Ruane and Higgins' First Amendment that seeks for a report and recommendation on the 8th Amendment to be returned to the Houses of the Oireachtas within 3 months from the date of the Assembly's first sitting. Would probably be Christmas time. Any further delay is unacceptable, and this is clear from public opinion on the matter. We can no longer continue to kick this extremely important social issue down the road. It is worth reminding ourselves that the Government has thus far failed to implement many of the other recommendations of the previous convention. It proposed a range of constitutional changes, including extending voting rights to citizens in the north and the diaspora for presidential elections. I am aware that Minister Joe McHugh made remarks in recent days indicating that a referendum on voting rights may be held next year with respect to the diaspora, though there was no specific mention of the citizens from the north. There were also proposals for other referenda, to amend the Constitution to remove the blasphemy, for example, and to provide a constitutional right to housing. There was also a proposal for a referendum on the article that refers, laughingly really, women's life within the home. A new convention should be allowed to give its view as to when these should be put to the people. So in short, Cathaoirleach and Minister, the previous Constitutional Convention worked well, so why change it? Finally, I would urge all senators to support Amendment 1, which proposes a return recommendation on the 8th Amendment within 3 months of the first sitting. Society and women need this dealt with once and for all. We will also be supporting Senator O'Sullivan's amendment on climate change.
Thank you, Senator. And Senator